got a lot of good players, which means a lot of guys who have to get paid. How much urgency should there be right now in Cincinnati, given all the potential moving pieces?
I think it's a ton of urgency to get Joe Burrow signed. We don't want to be in the position, and I don't expect them to be in the position that the Baltimore Ravens were with Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow has shown that he can have a team in position to win a Super Bowl in the postseason. But now it's about structuring this contract that allows Joe Burrow to have the security that he's earned and that he deserves, and also give you some maneuverability that allows you to sign guys like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow seems to understand that it's the skilled players around him that's allowed him to excel so early on in his career. Now, like you said on the call earlier today, it's not the job of the quarterback to take less money in order to allow guys to sign. And we used to always talk about this with Tom Brady. But I believe Joe Burrow sees his wide receivers, sees his skilled players in the way that they are one. He'll get his money, but I think he wants to make sure that he can keep some of that supporting cast around him and find ways to win going forward as well.
Yeah, you know, Ron, I forgot about the comment Burrow made about his window being always open. His career is his window. And what's interesting about that is that I think that perspective of, hey, we don't need to just win while we've got our quarterback under a rookie contract, that's different. You know, a lot of people look at it and say, hey, like load up while you can, while your quarterback isn't making $40, $50+ million a year. And I do think that because of that, there isn't a sense of urgency from a standpoint of, hey, you need to load up and win right now because once you're paying him, you can't win. Because I don't see that being the case. And look, maybe it is some type of deal that allows Joe Burrow to push out compensation, which allows T. Higgins to stay in the building and, you know, keep good players around him. Maybe he has that type of foresight. But ultimately, I think as long as he's their quarterback and they are not just delinquent around him, they're going to be just fine.
So, Kimberly, is it possible, though, that some of the urgency, if it does exist, could stem from the fact that as every year goes by, every team in the AFC that hasn't yet won a Super Bowl with their young quarterback is probably feeling more heightened pressure? The Chiefs have already won 2 with Patrick Mahomes. They've accomplished a lot. But Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, they haven't won a Super Bowl yet. Does that inherently increase the pressure every single year that you miss out on the Lombardi Trophy?
Well, in the AFC, we've talked about the murderer's row of quarterbacks, right? But here's what I know for certain. No other team wants to be Cleveland, and no other team wants to be Baltimore. No one wants to give out guaranteed contracts to the quarterback, and no team wants to have their star quarterback dangling out there and the uncertainty. What the Ravens just went through, Eric DeCosta, their GM, no other team wants to do that. So here's the thing. The Bengals are blessed with one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You don't play around with that. And Joe Burrow, the guy that sat there and said, my career is the window, that is a guy you can win with. So forget about Josh Allen. Forget about Lamar Jackson for a second. Like, the Bengals have the guy. So take care of him. Pay him and protect him. That's all Cincinnati has to do for the foreseeable future.
Okay, yes, that's true. I also think that it's just going to be the reality that one of these guys, maybe multiple of them, are not going to have a Lombardi ring at Lombardi Trophy. And people are going to be saying, is it a failure? Has that team failed that quarterback? Does that quarterback need to go somewhere else? And that's the reality of the AFC. There are so many great quarterbacks.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.